So here we can see some details of creating new sketches. So we can create a new sketch on the active plane. So any one time we have one plane which is active, and on that plane we can create our sketches, and we can have multiple sketches on that particular plane. If we have a particular active plane, we'll be able to list down in the drop down menu at the top to select the particular sketch of interest, but it will only be relative to the active plane. And we can create a sketch for the plane which is the active one by selecting on this small icon here, which is at the top, which you can just see on the right hand side there, and that will create a new sketch for the active plane. To start creating the sketch, we can go directly into the sketching mode, so that if we select a plane with no sketches, we can then enter sketch mode automatically to create a sketch. I've already described that multiple sketches can be created on a particular plane, and new sketches are always going to be created in the active plane, so you must ensure that you switch to a new plane for it to become active before you start sketching on that particular plane. So here we can see the user interface, which is now in sketching mode, and we've switched to the sketching mode by simply selecting the tab at the bottom of the toolbox on the left hand side. So it switches away from the modelling tree view and has now moved into the sketching toolboxes view. So we simply select this sketching tab here to revert to sketching mode, and that gives us then options of multiple toolboxes. So we have draw, modify, dimensions, constraints, settings. Here we can see the draw toolbox has been opened up, and this allows us multiple operations for drawing as part of sketches. Okay. Similar to the modelling mode, we also have details view here for details of the current sketch. If we need to check on any details here for that particular sketch, or make any modifications, we can do that down here. So here's an example of creating a simple circle as a sketch on an active plane. We would simply open up the draw toolbox on the left hand side and select circle. Then here on the right hand side you can see we're defining the points which define that circle. So we're selecting the center and a point on the circumference, and these two then define that circle as far as the sketch, and then allow us to create that circle for use for later on. We can also show another example. Here we're creating a spline. So we go to the sketching menu by selecting the sketching tab, make sure that the plane is active, that it's the necessary plane for sketching, and we drop down and go to the spline operation under draw. Then we can click to the start of the spline and also define an end of the spline and whether it's a closed with closed end with points as well. We have a number of different options that we can see on the top right hand side corner here on defining the spline, and here we can see all the different types of splines that could be generated with that particular sketching operation.